So I decided to cut out the audio from the video because it's terrible, and I'll just use this voiceover instead. So I'm going to talk about ice skiers, which is a movement that's used to help with cutbacks, to help with loading the opposite foot to be able to cut into that opposite direction from where you want to go. So you're loading that outside leg to be able to push off and get across. Right here, I'm just talking about how you want to be in a athletic stance, hips, knees, ankles all bent, and you should really be primarily trying to load that outside foot. So if he's in the video, I push to the left, so I'm loading that right foot in comparison to the video. When I load that foot up with all that weight to be able to push across, when I'm pushing across, I'm going to have a knee drive with that foot that's up already. That drive is going to allow me to push forward, and then that's actually the foot you're going to land on. With it, you're going to swing your arms in that running motion to still have good posture and all that with running, because that's always something that you want to focus on, is using your hands when you're running. And then if you're new, so if you're a beginner, you're going to probably stumble a little bit because it's a difficult movement, but once you get the repetition of it going over and over, you're actually going to stick, land, and then go back. I believe this next one is squatting. So you want to set the J hooks for the bar up so that they're at your chest level, so that when you get under the bar, you don't actually have to get on your toes or anything like that. I'm just talking about having the safety bars on, because you never know with a squat. I'm definitely talking about push jerk. But same thing with push jerk. Always want to have those bars maybe a little bit higher instead. Here, so you're going to set your step under the bar so that it's resting on your chest. You're going to bend at your knees, just a slight bend, which is going to allow you to push through the ground. That force is what's going to force that bar to come up over your head. And once that bar clears your head, you should be going straight through and catching it in that snatch position almost. A lot of coaches call it a dip drive catch is what you hear a lot of. Feet are about shoulder width apart with that. Here's a shoulder press, so strict shoulder press. So this is when you're not using your legs at all, and you're just going to be using just your upper body, all three of your shoulder muscles, anterior, posterior, and lateral delt. Here, same thing, bar should be at chest height, because that's just going to allow you to not have to worry about getting on your toes, being uneven with that bar, be in that awkward situation on your toes where you might fall, bark and slip, you never know. So here on the bar there's nerdling. That nerdling is, I tell them to have your thumb out right where that nerdling starts, and that's about the grip you want for any push, upper body push movement. When you get under that bar, you should actually, same thing with a squat, you should set underneath that bar. And now your knuckles of your hand should be pointing straight up to the ground, because now you're stacking those bones on top of each other, which is going to generate more force. Just like you're throwing a punch, if you're a boxer, stacking the bones will cause that. So this, you're going to clench your butt. Feet can be shoulder width apart. I like having my feet close, so I don't actually go into using them. Like I said with the push press, once you clear, that head's going to be back a little bit. Once that bar clears over your head, you can bring that head forward so that bar stays right over the midline of your body. And then here's the squat part finally. Sorry, I thought it was earlier. Again, nipple height, chest height, whatever you're more comfortable saying depending on clientele. If you're a woman, I probably wouldn't say nipple height because that's rude. Again, J hooks at that. Your safety bar should be up, because you never know with the squat bar. Big things to worry about. You want to wear flat shoes when you're squatting. I think it's a preference, but I like flat shoes when I'm lifting in general, because that allows my foot to stay flat and I can push through with my entire foot and it's not moving. Unlike like with a running shoe, you're on that, your heels elevate a little bit, so it could wobble a little bit inside the shoe. Shoe should be tight. And then from here, same thing, hands should be about on that bar. There's going to be 2 lines. Put your pinkies on those lines, and that's going to allow you to be even on that bar. so your chest is in the middle, so the weight isn't distributed improperly. Same thing with everything else. Step underneath the bar. The bar is going to be high enough where you can just stand straight up and it's going to come up off the J-hooks without having to worry about it not clearing. Here, you're going to take a deep breath in. Before that, where your head should be. Head should be straight, so your spine stays straight. I tell people look about 6 feet in front of you, because if you have your head back, you're going to force yourself into that butt wink position and have that C in your back, which you don't want. You want that back to be straight as possible. Now here, feet should be about shoulder width apart before you go down. Take that deep breath in, and that's going to allow you to stabilize your back. As you go down, you should be pushed out